Yeah, Phil G, I seen you come in. I mean, a couple people. Felix Almanzar. You checking in early again today. What's going on out there with the party people? Wait for a few more people to come in and out. So we don't want to have to repeat ourselves too much. Our guy Sincere was still sweet as 7. Still almighty. Yeah, we coming in early, a little bit early today because we got some business to handle when it gets a little bit later. Free cipher a lot. Plus I gotta, we got, like I said, Justice. We celebrating Justice's born day on the 31st. So I got some things to do out there to get the garden ready. And then I got some things I gotta do for Master Equality. But what's going on out there with y'all? Today we're gonna take it back down. We're gonna take it back down to the mathematics. Wisdom God. You know what I'm saying? Because we float off into all levels of outer space all the time. Today we're gonna, it's a simple concept. It's a simple concept, but it's misunderstood, right? And it's not executed correctly. See, those who don't understand get caught up. See, so today's Supreme Mathematics is Wisdom God. Right? So first let me ask a question. Right? How does everybody see that? What does that mean to you? Wisdom God. King Math, what's the deal? Right now, I'm trying to see if people understand. Lord Shalom, what's the signs here? We're trying to see if people understand. If people understand, one, it's a detail, but it's very important. And it's illustrated through today's Supreme Mathematics. So, Felix Almanzar said, God manifested his wisdom. He said, wisdom God is to speak, act, and manifest like God. Anyone else? Bueller? District 120. True Divine. District 120, we asking, what does wisdom God mean to you? Felix Almanzar said, God showing a better way. Anyone else? I guess we don't have we got a lot of observers here today. Smell Good said it means to be me. King Mav said being a man, making ciphers and doing the proper things to own them, rising above obstacles, always improving. Alright, divine education. Dark mouth. Well, look, y'all came all along the point, right, that I want you to see right here, right? District 120 said, wisdom, God means to be God, being supreme and doing things at the highest form. When applied or utilized. You know, and y'all touched on it a lot, but see, here's where people get caught up, right? Is that there's a difference between wisdom and about God and wisdom and God. And see, some people get caught up. They get caught up in thinking that because they wisdom about God, that they wisdom in God. You see what I'm saying? See, you got the, like, seeing it in the Greek, right? It says the word of God and the testimony of Jesus Christ. So you can't testify that something ain't happened yet. That means somebody had to be God. Somebody had to manifest that. See, now look, when you wisdom about God, that's what people want to debate about. That's the stuff that people want to debate about. But see, when you manifest God, that's indisputable. See, that's why certain times, right, you might, put in a different example, right? You might disagree with somebody on something, right? Debonair B says, I be around the builders. All right, now, Debonair B, first of all, I got to know who you are. Oh, it's Range? Yo, my man, listen, this is my man right here. This is my man Range from Tracy Towers. Hey, look, I gave Range the math. This is one of my people right here that I try to teach too. But you at work, Range? Get out of here. Range is at work. Listen. So you saying the lessons finally sank in? You said it finally sank in after all this time, huh, Range? I was up around your way. Not too long ago, man, a couple days ago. Yeah, that's my man Range from back in the days. Used to ride to school together. Right? A lot of basic ways you're supposed to live. But getting back to what I was saying is that, see, that's why it's some people that you might disagree with them. You might disagree with, stuff they saying, but see, you can't dispute what they accomplish. All right, I came up on you. Hey, look, I'm getting big time on YouTube right now, right? It's been a minute since you seen me. I'm big time YouTuber now. You know what I'm saying? But see, you have to pay attention to that. Yeah, that was a little bit crazy. But look, Range, you was there. Am I lying or am I flying, Range? Am I lying about anything I said in that video? Or is that about right? Right, you met up to me on White Play. That's what I'm saying. Range, am I lying about anything in it? But see, that's why we got to pay attention. You can see if you get caught up and you think you manifested, right? You think you living out the signs, but you really not. Then all the life you're supposed to be manifesting is not really there. You know what I'm saying? And when, the all those things that's supposed to be surviving off that life, all those things that, like, look, your family, let's say, right? You got certain things you're supposed to be doing, let's say, for your babies, right? But you think you're doing it, but you're not doing it. So now the life that they supposed to be surviving off of, you didn't really manifest. And then you would sit around wondering, well, why the solution that I'm looking for is not, why is things like this? Like, see, look, people ask the questions all the time, right? Well, why is the school like that? And, why is this like that? Why is that like that? It's like that because you. It's like that because all that above is caused by the sin of man. You see what I'm saying? But now, some people, they think they manifesting, whatever you're doing over there in the outskirts. Right? Whatever you're doing out there in the outskirts, you under the impression that you manifesting. Right? And then you think that gives you the ability to point the finger at everybody else and say, what are they doing? What are they doing? What are they doing? See what I'm saying? But see, that's the thing about being the maker and the owner. See, being the maker and the owner, right? It means that you're not to blame for everything, right? But you're responsible for everything. See, things that you made and own, like, see, if your dog, right, does something, you're responsible for that. It can, whatever it is, you know what I'm saying? If you the boss of a company, right? Let's say you got a construction company, right? And one of your workers mess up a job, you're responsible for that. You might not be the person who messed that up, but guess who's gonna have to fix it? Now, of course you're gonna deal with that person. And see, that in and of itself right there, right, that's a level of manifesting God, right? Of standing on the square no matter what happened. You know what I'm saying? When you standing on the square, see, now like I said, somebody might disagree with what you did. You know what I'm saying? They might disagree with the principle, but see that you stood on that principle regardless. See, people gotta respect that. And respect is knowledge. So see, you gotta see, because see, when you manifest in God, the reason why people can't dispute that is because it's indisputable evidence. You see what I'm saying? Like all of this right here, right, exists. Oh, Kwame Brown said, I wonder who this was. What's the size, Kwame? Be almighty. What's the deal? You understand what I'm saying? So, you know, right now, that's what you see going on in a lot of instances. Is that a lot of people thinking that they manifesting, right? But when you really manifesting, certain love from the neighborhood. You know, look, oh man, we got the whole head in here today. We got Range in here. Yo, Range, you still on here? Certain love went to 143. But like I said, you know, let's see, we right here, right? All of this exists right here. Like, see, you got a lot of people that may disagree with, you know, some of the things Allah said. But see, you can't dispute what He built though. See, that's the difference between manifesting about God and manifesting God. See, if you would have just came out and just kept telling people that I'm God, I'm God, I'm God, see, that's the thing. See, with these things that we saying, right, look, you got to have a witness besides you. You got to have a witness besides you. Now, look, you know, one of the best, I would say the best witness, in my opinion, right, you could have is a black woman, right? Like, you know, that, all right, they bear witness that you got. But I'm just saying, you know, even if it's just a monument, even if it's just an inanimate monument where people would say, how that got there? All right, because you. See, that's what happens when you manifest God, right? As opposed to just manifesting about God. See, when you start off in that knowledge equality degree, right? You just manifesting about God. You know what I'm saying? And I used to always say that, you know, from that stage, we grow up, right? We grow up, and some of us become civilized people, and we go on to live out the rest of the degrees. And some of us, you know, we all got knowledge with people that, you know, they Muslim sons now. But you know, I just realized recently that there's another category of people that just never grew up. They didn't. And they still, 40 years later, wisdom and about God. 40 years later, they the only witness they got. They the only witness they got that any of that stuff happened. They the only monument of anything what they saying. So see, that's the difference between wisdom and God, right? Or wisdom and about God, manifesting about God and manifesting God. Because see, manifesting about God, it gets, you know, you especially you get the juices from. See what I'm saying? You get the juices flowing. You see what I mean? And look, you hearing your own self sometimes. See, if you build enough, if you build enough, right, you start saying things you didn't even know you knew. You start going into levels of the supreme mathematics, right? And your understanding will be growing as you speaking. And so you think you've done something because everybody that was around you was like, build God, peace God, teach. See, if those is the words that you're hearing, you're probably not doing much. Because more than likely, you're having a mutual masturbation situation with some other people that know all the same things that you know. Y'all just sitting around like, yeah, God, because we build, God. We build on the science of mathematics, God, and we manifest the truth. we manifest the truth. We see, can you be the word of God? See how you do? Why would you do me like that, Senior? You see how? You see, if I would have known about 5% people before I knew about 5% science, y'all know I would be here. if I would have known that I had to get involved with y'all, man, I stayed in math class. Arithmetic. So I'm gonna get a t-shirt. Could've went to Habit. But yeah, like I was saying, can you be the word of God? See, in the beginning was the word, and the word was God. Can you be the word of God? And then can you make that word bond? Allah Quan, I haven't seen Allah Quan in a minute. I've been riding on their block. I haven't seen them. I seen Aku. I seen Daquan. But Darkim returned to the essence. Well, I don't know if you know, but Darkim returned to the essence. Born Perfection, I see him all the time. He's still with me. Raheem. Yeah, Darkim returned to the essence. You mean Daquan? Yeah, Daquan, I seen Daquan last year. But I be talking to him though. And Raheem, we don't know where Raheem is, nigga. Oh yeah, you know something? I could never recall what his righteous name was, but yeah, I ain't see him in a minute, man. The last time I seen him when he was resting over there on 120th. In St. Nick over there. Word? That's what happened? Damn, I ain't know that about Kendall. Damn. Yo, what happened to Freedom that used to rest up there in the towers? Ah, man. You know something? He was a type of smooth type of dude that's like, yeah. He did. Remember, he started being on the real low. Man, that's crazy, man. You see what happens, man? You see what happens? This is why you gotta have knowledge of self, man. Just talking about people that ain't make it. people ain't make it that we grew up with, man. We used to be at the bus. We used to be at the bus stop. You know, in New York, you don't got the yellow bus. We take the city bus. But just saying, these are all people we used to be at the bus stop together, man. You know what I'm saying? You know, there but for the grace of the gods go I. See, that's the difference, you know, even you know, when a lot of times when people judge us, right? You know, whether it's from the outside or the inside, a lot of times people don't look at where our starting point was. Like they just try to look at us right now and say, well, you know, this other group accomplished this by this amount of time. Yeah, but that other group ain't start like us. You know what I'm saying? First of all, you know, that other group, yeah, those was all, you know, middle class, you know, people, you know, doing, you know, that was already in the bowling league, you know, Masonic stuff. They wasn't, you know, kids that was kind of trapped behind the wall already. You understand what I'm saying? You know, not being in the penitentiary, but just, you know, behind the wall, you know, where you're not allowed to, you know, you kept apart from their own social equality. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, if you don't have knowledge yourself, the ways that you try to become a part of that social equality, right? The way you try to get money, the way you try to get status and all this type of stuff like that, the way you try to get food, clothing, and shelter, you know, you could easily be led in the wrong direction. You understand what I'm saying? So, you know, having the knowledge, it's like, you know, even if, you know, you walk on those other paths, right, you're able to navigate. You know what I'm saying? You're able to navigate in ways that other people can't. You said, does manifesting God deal with taking ownership, responsibility of all that's within your square? That's a part of manifesting God. Cause see, look, that's the maker and the owner, but there's also the cream of the planet Earth and the father of civilization. In order for you to say you gotta be God. That God of the universe means universally. It means all levels from highest to lowest. It means all 360 degrees. And see, that's where you get caught up in with that God with, you know, manifesting about God, right? Is that, see, some people is real good at one thing. And then in your imagination, right, you expand that out to them being a well-rounded genius. But really, they're just real good at talking. And see, like I said, you know, when we talking, we hearing ourselves too. And some people just like that. You know what I'm saying? But I think that's enough for my rant right there. That's enough for my rant. You know, I didn't have too much, you know, yesterday when I left, I was busy. So usually what happens is some experience that I have during the week or during the day prompts me for the topic. But like something that happened or somebody would be built and I'll be like, yeah, you know, I wonder if all the people out there know this. And so I might go into it. But today was one of those days where, you know, I came up with that. Like, I had it 5 seconds, I came up with that. But you know, I'm firstborn Darkim now, so I don't need that much time. The people, if you wasn't here yesterday, the people who was here yesterday, y'all let them know. Freedom was the deal. So what we got out there, man? We got any questions? We got any questions out there? Hopefully we can remain in the land of the same with these questions. Because yesterday y'all was doing some wild ones. Right, let's not deal with rap music. It's just, look, I don't have nothing against rap music, but see, look, I want to spend some time being serious. You know what I'm saying? I want to spend some time being serious, right? And just understand something. I got a particular perspective. See, to those people that's from the Wu-Tang era, they see Wu-Tang as spreading these teachings. But for me, that's before the Wu-Tang era, I see them as using our language to make themselves rich and famous. So it's nothing particularly intriguing, you know what I'm saying, about these rappers, man. You know what I'm saying? I hope that's a lesson that was learned. That it don't matter who you is. It don't matter if you rich. It don't matter if you famous. It don't matter if you 8 feet tall, right? Supreme mathematics applies. So ain't nothing against it, but let's just show the people, right, that this is the actual culture. You know what I'm saying? We see a lot of people heard the sound, right? They heard the sound of the words, but they never detected the light that was traveling in the sound. See, that's the thing about that music, right? Yeah, you hear the sound, but you don't get the light. And it's a certain science of it. See, that's a low blow right there, Smell Goods. Smell Goods is gonna put in the comments that I got a Wu album and you want it. That's a low blow. That's a low blow. If I ever, I think that's the cheapest shot I got. That's the cheapest shot I got in 2025. Man. You in the league. Listen, I think in the whole time that I've been Power Wisdom, I think that's the best. That's a low blow right there, Small Goods. I'm gonna get you back on that one. I thought the lowest blow before that, Shaheem told me that I was treating the school like it was the kebab. That's a lot of cheap shots out there this year, I see. Y'all getting good. Y'all getting good. Okay. Game on. Said I'm seeing manifesting God means making your next move your best move. And all that principle can be applicable to in any given construct, being the best black man you could be. Well, that's the cream of the planet Earth. So when you have the confidence and the skill set, manifesting God is easy. However, when you do, everyone see it and want some of that light. Right. You see what I'm saying? That's what happens when you manifest in God. People be like, yo, how could I be down with that? And some people, look, they don't even say nothing to you. There be people that don't even say nothing to you, right? But when they get where they going, and people say, yo, man, how you say, yo, man, I used to roll with the guys. They look, you see, that's what the brother came. The brother came and said, yo, man, I used to be with the guys, man. See, that's when you manifested it. See what I'm saying? When you just talked about a lot of people talk about it. I mean, how much, look, think about it. What better witness could you have, right? That somebody, look, you tell your friends that you got, right? And then, look, you can be successful at that. Right? But if you got a woman, right, that bears witness that you got, first of all, look at the potential here. You know, the potential, right? The potential for just, everything in life, right, is just much greater. If you could get a black woman to bear witness that you got. You understand what I'm saying? If she sees you as the word of God and you can make that word bond, you know what I'm saying? But, the other thing what you were saying, just in terms of being the cream of the planet Earth, yeah, that was a part of the knowledge when I got it. When I got it, they was like, look, if you go to a party and dance, you better be the best dancer. Whatever it is, right? Allah is the best. Whatever you go out there and do, be the best at it. See, West Coast wives like to talk about that. Where, see, like I said, when you manifest about a lot, then people hear that, right? But see, like I said, do you get the light in the words? You hear the sound, but do you get the light? See, Allah is seen and heard. Said, we deal with science. Ever notice the element chart has P block 14 elements, D block 40 elements, S block 36 elements, F block has 28 elements, approximately 120 elements. Yeah, they keep those is 92 natural ones, and I think they was up to 108 when at that time when we was young brothers, and that was a big part of the knowledge, God of the universe, I wouldn't say a big part of knowledge, but the brothers that was around, that was an element of how we understood the knowledge degree, being God of the universe. Is that all the elements that is in the universe exist within us. So 92 is natural, and at that time, I guess it was 16 man-made. But that's interesting to know that they up to 120 now. Hashem said these lessons would bring out the best in you. You can be the best knucklehead, the best criminal, the best anything. Yeah, that's, what? I didn't want I didn't want to go into that. But yeah, look. Even in that, we was the best. Look, see, sometimes we don't want to accept that. But that degree when it said, look, it's 5% in all walks of life. It's true. It's true. Yeah, no doubt, Range. I'm gonna find a way to hit you up. But some worlds we gotta leave alone though. Cause that's a thing too. You know what I'm saying? Like, being the best at something has an outcome too. You see what I'm saying? So if you're the best student in math class, right, that has a different impact than if you were the best stick-up kid in the neighborhood. Anyone else? I mean, because look, because I told you I got some stuff I got to do out there to get everything prepared for we're going to celebrate Justice Born Day this weekend coming. And then Marufo, yeah, I be talking to Marufo. I ain't see him. Been about 2 or 3 years. But yeah, I've been seeing Marufu. He's down in the DMV area. I seen him down there. It was a brother that passed away down there a couple years ago. I went down there, he was dead. And then he came up here too. He probably be here. I ain't gonna say probably, but it's a good chance he'll be here in 2 weeks. Man, you bringing up all the people like, man. But yeah, if that's it, man, you know what I'm saying? Today we're gonna keep it short and sweet. You know what I'm saying? Gladstone Edwards. Is that Yeah, that's Ajan Word is Bond. Yeah, you remember Ajan used to be with us. Alfie? I wonder if that's the same person. Gladstone Edwards, I do know that name. That's somebody that yeah. He used to be by Kingsbridge. He was on my Facebook. Yeah, I think you talking about Ajan. Right, yeah. He's a little bit older than me. But so everybody do the each one teach one. You know what I'm saying? Hit the like button. If you're new to the channel, subscribe, hit the notification so you can know when we come on. You know what I'm saying? Other than that, in the meantime, between time, I'm gonna sign off and say peace. Being that this one was short, we might be on. There's some rain days coming up, so perhaps we'll get another chance. But I'm gonna sign off and say peace.